Tonight, you are watching the Free Speech channel. That's what it is, the last one left. We're going to say exactly what we believe is true, period. It's still America.
The John Brennans, Adam Schiffs, and the oligarchs in big tech who are trying to undermine our constitutionally protected rights and turn our country into a police state with KGB-style surveillance are also domestic enemies, and much more powerful and therefore dangerous than the mob that stormed the Capitol.
What you just heard her say is true. No matter what they tell you, no matter how much they attack the person who said it, it's absolutely true. That is true, and God bless Tulsi Gabbard for saying so out loud. Congresswoman, I appreciate your coming on tonight. So I don't think of you as someone given to hyperbole. You're not throwing wild charges out there. You measure your words. You said you are concerned that we are moving toward a police state. Tell us why you're worried.
Well, Tucker, the very first thing that any president does after they've gotten elected, any member of Congress, and every one of us who has served in the military, is we take an oath. And we swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The reason that this is the first thing that we do is because our Constitution is the foundation of this country, right, and who we are. It is what guarantees us our civil liberties, our freedoms that are endowed to us not by any man or person in government, but are endowed to us by our Creator. And so this is something that we must all unite around. This is something that we recognize, that those who stormed the Capitol on January 6th trying to stop Congress from fulfilling their constitutional responsibilities, they were acting as domestic terrorists, undermining our Constitution. As you pointed out in my video, those like John Brennan, Adam Schiff, and others are also acting as domestic terrorists because they are also undermining our Constitution by trying to take away our civil liberties and rights that are guaranteed to us. If you don't mind, I'd like to just quote John Brennan directly so that people can't say I'm taking this out of context. Directly, yes. John Brennan says, members of the Biden team who have been nominated or appointed are now moving in laser-like fashion to try to uncover as much as they can about what looks very similar to insurgency movements they've seen overseas, where they germinate in different parts of the country and gain strength and bring together an unholy alliance, frequently of religious extremists, authoritarians, fascists, bigots, racists, nativists, and even libertarians. This is the extent that they are going to try to undermine the rights and freedoms that are guaranteed to every one of us, and it's incredibly dangerous.
It is so dangerous, and it's also happening on a greater scale we've ever seen before, because as you point out in the video that I hope every one of our viewers will find on the internet, it isn't simply government officials and our intel and law enforcement agencies, it's also private businesses. It's these giant tech monopolies. What can the rest of us do to protect ourselves, to keep free speech alive in a moment when it's being crushed all around us?
First of all, keep speaking. I think this is the most important thing at a time when there is so much fear and threats and the kind of fomenting of fear that we're seeing coming from the likes of John Brennan. Take a stand. We must all take a stand and unite around these principles in our Constitution and continue to speak freely, whether it be in person, on the street corner, or on these virtual public squares, these town squares that exist online. You know, big tech is culpable in this, in that they are using their monopolistic power to pick and choose whose voices are heard and whose voices are squelched, whether it's based on who they agree with, disagree with, political affiliation, who you voted for, or whatever. I think there are alternative platforms. I've got one on tulsi.locals.com. It's a place where people can come and speak freely and have open dialogue and conversation around different issues based on respect and this appreciation for our constitutional rights and freedoms. But I think most importantly, we need to urge President Biden and every member of Congress how critical it is they take a stand and denounce the likes of John Brennan and Adam Schiff's actions. Because if we do not, and if they do not, then this country that we love and cherish will no longer exist.
When you ran for president as a Democrat, I watched the leadership of the Democratic Party try to subvert your campaign. They disliked you more than they disliked Donald Trump, almost. And now I think we know why, because you're defending the basic institutions of our country. And I appreciate you doing it on this show. Tulsi Gabbard, thank you.
Thank you.